Alright, one of my last ones is, you know, with everybody kind of breaking out right now in DC hip hop, what would y'all say it takes, you know, to achieve success as far as, you know, a DC artist or producer?
Right now, I mean, first and foremost, you gotta have good music. But you can't think just because you have good music that you're gonna like be famous, like, or even have a chance to be famous. Like, you gotta market, you gotta brand yourself, you gotta be out there in them streets.
You have to know people.
You gotta know people, and you gotta put yourself in the right places, and you gotta allow yourself. You gotta make alliances with people who can do something for you, and you can do something for them too. And whatever you need, whether you need exposure, it's people out there who can give you exposure. You can do stuff for them people. It's something that you can do to get them the exposure. You just gotta find out what you gotta do. So you gotta be good at what you do. You gotta have good music. I mean, you gotta set yourself aside from everybody else, because you hear I sound for Fat Trail, the I sound of the Basshedz. We don't sound like nobody. Don't nobody have our sound. And DC don't even really technically have a sound. But to be honest with you, there is a DC sound. I think Wale is the first one to start embodying that. It's hard to even describe it. But a DC rapper, to me, it has a certain style, and Wale embodies that style. Like, it's like saying a lot of words back to back together, like saying like, play like together. Like, only DC rappers can do stuff like that. But I mean, that's pretty much, you just gotta be, and you gotta believe in what you do. Let me tell you something, it's gonna be a lot, especially in this business. Everybody gonna tell you, gonna discourage you. Everybody gonna discourage you from actually pursuing this and actually trying to make a career out of this.
But see, at the same time, sometimes people don't know when that music isn't good.
Right? True.
And that's the thing sometimes.
True.
Cause I don't think there's no special formula outside. I mean, any other situation, but I think one of the most important things, besides having good music or music that's going to work, you gotta have connection. You gotta know people. I think that's one of the most important things. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes if the artist or the situation isn't that special, if you don't know people, then this is really not going to happen. Especially if you don't have something that's going to draw that important situation to you,
right,
to where you're going to be able to get that exposure.
Yeah.
So it's like you say, man, it's just being consistent.
I mean, let me tell you something.
Once you're consistent, then people, then you know, consistency, yeah.
You gonna keep getting better too, and people gonna start growing to love your sound. And let me tell you, this is a good way to test out if your music good. You get in the car with somebody, throw that blend in, don't tell them who it is.
Yeah.
And if a motherfucker ain't fucking with it, your shit ain't good. And go back to the lab and get your shit together and do that shit as a hobby, until you get good. You know, straight up, you know what I'm saying? Because they say it take like 10 years to get on, and they ain't tell you no lie. 10 years plus. From the time you start trying to get into this industry, it's gonna be about that time. And you gotta polish your skills. And if your shit don't sound just as good as a motherfucker on the radio, or the populous motherfuckers on MTV, just go back to your room and figure it out, because that's what we did. And we ain't even make it yet. So, I mean, fuck that picture right there.
Wow, that's cool. I guess the last question would be, y'all work with the Slutty Boys and Fat Trail and Wale. Are there any other projects y'all have outside of that, or any projects y'all doing, just as a group that y'all could tell us about?
We don't. That's it right now. We don't really have anything outside.
Fat Tone is another artist that we're working with.
Okay.
He's another rapper from DC.
Yeah, I think he was on Fat Trail's earlier one.
Yeah, he was on No School Music.
Shout out to Fat Tone.
And he was on Youngest Run in the City.
Yeah, Fat
He's
Tone,
on both
man.
cities.
Alright, shout out JUKEBOXDC from the Basshedz. I want to give a shout out. Shout out to the whole Northeast. My man Fast Beeson, Slutty Boys, Young Millionaires, the whole board.
Fat Trail.
Of course, Fat Trail. Shout out to my man One Loose. Brazen and Naughty Fabrics.
Fat Tone.
Fat Tone, of course, my man. Adversary.
Devo.
Devo.
Man, shout out to the Hyenas, man. J&B, man. They're never part of the music group that they not here right now. But shout out to them, man. Without them, a lot of this shit wouldn't be possible, man. Straight up.
And of course, shout out to the Born and Wale.
Shout out to the women that I like too. They help us out a lot too.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
Oh,
like
shout out to
women.
my beautiful wifey
Yeah.
Cole. I can't forget that, and my kids.
Shout out to my wife too. Love you, baby.